Good starting? Yep, good starting. Hi, welcome to the newest episode of Sports Talk Central. My name's Adeep Mahmood. I'm here with my normal co-host Hunter, and today we're going to be talking about some baseball news, Tony La Russa, no-hitters, preview the Orioles National Series, and then we're going to talk about some small NFL news, and then we'll finish it up with some Virginia Tech basketball and a brief update on the NHL playoffs. So, do you want to do the Tony La Russa preview or no hitter stuff?
Let's just get to the Tony La Russa stuff first.
Yeah.
What a joke, man. This just goes to show how boomers like this should not be allowed to manage a baseball team in 2021. I mean, I'm sorry, you're putting in a position player. If he's going to throw you a 47-mile-per-hour pitch when it's a 3-0 count, even if it's over the middle of the plate, you're damn right I'm swinging at that. I mean, it's not like 97 from a starting pitcher. That's a different story, right? And the fact that he's dumping on him and saying, like, well, that's not right, bro. And then after the game, he's just calling him like a clueless idiot. And then next game, he's defending what the other team did after throwing at him. It's like you are so out of touch with the game and where it is in 2021. And talk is cheap coming from that guy who literally has had 2 DOIs in the last few years, by the way, if you didn't know that. I'm sure you did.
Yeah, and by the way, he tried to get out of on his most recent one by saying he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. The dude is a joke. And the only reason they're probably not firing him, is because the White Sox are in first place and they probably will make the playoffs this year. But they win in spite of him.
Likes him, the owner.
Yeah. And the White Sox win in spite of him. They have a really good team. They have a really good farm system. This team is set up to be good for a long time. But it's just, I'm tired of these boomers, man. Get these weirdos out of the league. You shouldn't give a shit if your player, I don't care if it's 15-4. I don't care if it's 9-8. If a position player is going to give you a 47-mile-per-hour pitch over the plate, you swing at it. I mean, I'm sorry. It's boomer stuff, man. I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said everything I said. He should never have been hired in the first place. I think we covered it when he was hired in the previous episode. I brought up it's a young team. It's a team that likes to have fun. He's 76 years old.
Yeah, that too.
Yep, and I never thought he was a good fit for this job in the first place. And then to make matters worse, you're talking about respecting the game. You're talking about respecting the game here. Let's not forget their issues as well. Because you have to remember, when he was his first stint with the White Sox, the next guy that took over actually said he was informed of a sign stealing operation that was run by Tony La Russa. And by the way, it's not just sign stealing, it's steroids. Remember? Guess who the manager was when Canseco and McGuire were with the A's? Tony La Russa.
Yeah. And where did he last manage? A team that everyone hates in the St. Louis Cardinals.
It wouldn't shock me if they had cheating allegations there as well. So, and then you're right with the DUIs. I think that he's like that. You know the Simpsons meme of old man yelling.
Yes, yeah. The old man yells at clown. Yeah, I know that.
But yeah, he's pretty much like that. I mean, we can talk, and then with the unwritten rules, I hate the unwritten rules. I mean, first of all, Tyler Duffy, the guy who threw at Mercedes, he was suspended 3 games. I'll say this: I don't know if Tyler Duffy wanted to throw at him. There might have been someone in the Twins organization that
it was totally the manager that told him to do it, or someone within the organization for sure.
Yeah. Manager's Rocco Baldelli, so we don't know if he's one of those younger guys who's old-fashioned. But I mean, I understand the Twins are 14-27 last time I checked, so maybe they're upset. But like because this year, this was a team that people thought could win the Central. But I mean, they're in last place. I mean, maybe they're upset about that, but I wasn't a big fan of that. I mean, Tim Anderson pretty much said Yerman, keep doing what you're doing. Lynn pretty much said the unwritten rules are really dumb. And then LaRussa's, all he's doing is that he's just dividing everyone against him. Well, he's uniting everyone against him. I don't know.
Did you see what Lance Lynn said?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
his own. Yeah, I mean, it's like you're turning your own team against you now.
Yeah. So I think that if the White Sox weren't in first place, he would have been fired.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If that team was like you said with the Twins, they're 14 and 27 indeed or something like that. Say they switch places, he's 100% fired after that.
Yeah, and then you think of the other names. I mean, like, they could have hired AJ Hinch, but he had to hold cheating stuff. I mean, like I just said it a couple minutes ago, LaRussa isn't clean himself. And then it's like, well, he had a DUI and they knew about it. Like, no, it's clearly pure cronyism. That's why he's hired. I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, we kind of covered all that we needed to cover. Like, I think we both agree unwritten rules are, and the faster we can get rid of guys like Tony La Russa.
I'm tired of these unwritten rules in the game, man. This isn't the 1980s and the 90s anymore.
Yeah,
get them out.
Remember Pilar? Look at Pilar. What happened to Kevin Pilar a couple days ago?
Yeah, he got his face busted in. Jesus.
And he was so nice. Because remember, he said he felt worse for the Braves pitcher because he knew that was a young guy that, like, when you do that, you're thinking, oh no. Like, you're thinking, oh no. Like, I remember I was at a practice and I was doing outfield drills, and I didn't have the best accuracy. Let me put it that way. I had a good arm strength, but like you know, the A-wire thing where it's like I'm trying to throw it straight, but like I'm trying. So like I was definitely like, it's like if there's like bystanders walking by, I was like, oh no. It's like I really hope I'm not miss. I really hope I don't have like the bad accuracy and I hit a bystander. It's like, but he probably felt really bad for Polaris. I mean, like the unwritten rules are really bad. So I mean,
yeah.
And the unwritten rules. So we're going to go to the other story, which is the no hitters. I'll start off with this one. Corey Kluber.
I think like, man, with this, like, I'm gonna say a hot take. They're not fun anymore. They're not. Like, they're too easy to do now. Like, I know that sounds shitty, but let's see some more perfect games. Like that's 6 now, and we're not. What'd you say? Go ahead.
John Means was like 2 inches away from a perfect game. Remember that?
Yeah, and it's just like that's now 6, and we're not even at Memorial Day. Usually, we only see 6 a year, going back a few years ago. Indeed, if that sounds right,
maybe 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah, like, and I don't know what is going on with the baseballs this year. I don't know what it is, but this is. And they're just not as big as they used to be, and for obviously valid reasons. But just what are your thoughts on all the no-hitters as we now have 6 before Memorial Day weekend?
It's wacky. I mean, the season through, we already have 6 no-hitters, and then MLB is 7. And granted, we don't know if we count the Madison Bumgarner one as a legitimate no-hitter, but Kluber got it, then Turnbull got it before. Then 2 weeks ago, John Means got on a Wednesday. Wade Miley got it on a Friday. And then Joe Musgrove got his. And then not even a week after that, Carlos Rodon got his. So, I mean, we're seeing these hitters come in pairs, which is interesting. And then not only thoughts on the hitting, I'll get my theory on that, but it's interesting that the Rangers, the Cleveland baseball team, and the Mariners have been no-hit twice.
Like, that doesn't even happen. No team gets no-hit twice in 1 year. That's ridiculous.
Now we have 3 teams getting hit no-hit twice.
Like, I'm sorry, man. They're just not as fun anymore. Like, and when everyone's doing them, I don't know if someone messed with the baseballs or something, but it definitely
they deadened it from last year.
Yeah, this is. It just takes the fun out of it. Like, now I just want to. Now I kind of want to see at least one perfect game. At least that is like a cool thing to see. Now, no hitters, it's just like it seems like it's too easy now.
I mean, it's still. I mean, it's 6 no hitters in like 1,200 games. I mean, it's still low percentage, but
yeah.
In terms of hitting, like the league-wide average right now is 236. So
Yeah, that's just terrible. I mean, you're not even batting 250.
But here's my theory on it. So
But
with Moneyball, by the way, Moneyball came out about 10 years ago. So that started this whole analytics thing about using overlooked statistics behind undervalued players. Now analytics are moving more towards the development stage, but it's very clear, and I'll want to hear your thoughts on this. That that teams now have a better understanding of the data-driven tools when it comes to pitching development than when it comes to batting and hitting, because you have like
I think I agree with that.
the high-speed camera but then when you look at hitting, that's tough because now it's hitting trying to like it's all launch angle, so you want to hit the ball at the lower third and then aim upward. So I think that the pitching development I think is more advanced. I think the hitting development is more archaic, and I think that big difference there that we're seeing is the lower batting average. It's the number of strikeouts. It's we're going up last year, but been a lot of fly balls. But strikeouts are going up, strikeouts going up, batting average is going down, and I think that's the main thing. I think it's that the data-driven development is far more advanced in pitching than it is in batting. I don't know how what we can do. I mean, because when I look at the batting stuff, like the bat knob sensors, I don't know how you could use that for development, how you quantify data with that, like sensors to measure launch angle, everything else. Maybe it's just something inherent, like pitching is more easily understood with some of these tools with quantitative data than hitting. But that's what I think. Like, do you think that's the case? Like with this whole data revolution, how pitching might be better than hitting? With that?
Yeah, no, I think it is now, just because like you said there's like a more data when it comes to. I mean, I think pitchers are also more careful with hitters, just because. I mean, for obvious reasons, there's a lot of really freaking good hitters in the league, and they try to pitch around them, they try to paint corners to try to get them out. I just think it's really analytically driven now, and the hitting is just not as good as it normally is this year.
Also,
I think that's the main thing.
I think they might be pitchers again. Might be using like a foreign substance, like legal one. Like there's a difference between I think baseball fans need to understand. There's a difference between spitting on the ball and stuffing in the ball, and then putting like a foreign grip on the ball to make it easier to control. Because you combine that with spin rate, balls are being moved at far more spin. It's far more deceptive. It's still legal, but I think that could still be it. So I mean, it's going to be interesting because it's clearly, like I said, taking a step forward. Hitting still has to adjust, and I'm pretty sure when hitting adjusts, pitching will take another adjustment. So right now, we're still in that stage of one side still has to catch up to the other. But I mean, that's kind of where I think. So, today with the baseball segment, we'll talk about the Orioles and Nationals preview. So let me just give you the pitching matchup, and we can.
I think Strasburg goes tonight.
Let me just do the pitch matchup first. So today it's Jorge Lopez versus Steve Strasburg. Tomorrow is Bruce Zimmerman versus John Lester, and then Sunday is Matt Harvey versus Corbin.
Corbin goes. Oh yeah, because Scherzer pitched the other day. I thought it would be Scherzer's turn, but I guess he goes Monday, I think. So yeah, those are some good pitching matchups. I know Nationals fans will be happy to see Matt Harvey come back to Nats Park after grilling him for those many years when he was with the Mets. But this should be an interesting series. The Nationals though did just lose 3 out of 4 to the Cubs. They honestly deserved better in a couple, I think, of those games, but just didn't get the pitching, I think, as well in some of them. Kyle Schwarber continues to hit well. I think Josh Bell's starting to maybe turn around a little bit. Juan Soto. He's worked his way back into the lineup. And as you said, Strasburg will be returning tonight. That's huge for the pitching staff. But this team, they're continuing to struggle, and it's not unexpected. I need to look at the standings real quick here, just to see how far out of first they are. I mean, this is. I'm sure So they're 4.5 games out. It's still not over. I mean, the Mets are only 3 games over 500. They're only a game back of the Braves, and the Braves really stink this year too. But I don't know if you saw this week, Adit. Davey Martinez went full Lloyd McClendon with that first base against the Cubs. I will say this. That rule is probably the dumbest rule in all of baseball. Calling someone out for you can't even avoid like the foul line or something. I don't know. If you saw like what happened with it?
I saw. I think didn't Trey Turner have the same issue in the World Series?
Yeah, it was the same play from the World Series, and Davey went out, argued it, picked up the first base, slammed it down, and then kicked it. I know it was a tantrum, but I found it hilarious. His post game rant basically said, I'll argue that 100 times out of 100. He goes, I'm tired of that rule, and they need to fix it. He goes, it's just a joke, and I agree with him. It's pretty stupid, but. No, I don't think you'll be seeing him do that against the Orioles this weekend. Are all 3 games at Nats Park,
yeah,
if I'm not mistaken?
Park, yeah, this time it's Nats Park, and then late July it's going to be at 7 yards.
Okay, yeah. So this series should still be good if the Nationals want to try to get back into the race. It will be prudent for at least for them to win this series, if not sweep them.
Yeah, so I think with the Orioles, the preview, Jorge Lopez, I'll say that. Jorge Lopez and Matt Harvey have struggled recently. Lopez, I think he's a good opener. I would want to see him as like a back-end bullpen guy, like kind of going like the Zach Britton route, where Britton was an average starter but a great closer. Because for whatever reason, Lopez, first 2 times through the order is good. The third time, that's when he gets hit really hard. Bruce Zimmerman had a good bullpen outing, 5 2/3. Matt Harvey, he was good for a little bit. Last couple of starts, he's been hitting really hard. He has a 4.91 ERA against in Nats Park. The pitching clearly has. John Means had his worst start this week. He went 6 1/3, gave up 4 earned runs, and had gave up 2 home runs. That just tells you how good the guy has been. Like if that's his worst start by far. That tells you how good he's been. And then MLB.com, and by the way, MLB.com did their prediction votes for Cy Young. This did bug me a little bit, but it's like John Means right now is second at 16 first place votes, and I believe Garrett Cole is in first with 62. That one's clearly more on the bias towards Yankees. Because you look at John Means' numbers, his numbers are slightly better than Garrett Cole. Both are fine. And I don't think it's Garrett Cole and everyone else and then John Means. But I don't know if that just bugs me a little bit. But the bullpen hasn't been great. The bullpen hasn't been great. But then again, when your starters are going 3-4 innings.
It's hard for your bullpen to be good with that.
Yeah, and then, hopefully they come back from it. Offensively, they're not the most consistent. Trey Mancini's been playing really well. I think he leads the American League. He might lead Major League Baseball in RBIs. He's close to 40 at this point. And then I think he's 8 to 10 home runs. Other guys, they still have problem with strikeouts. I would put up a crooked inning and then put up zeros, be a little bit more balanced. And then the idea that I had was some of these younger pitchers. Pedro Severino, I don't know if he was with the Nationals, if he was a good defensive guy, but
he was with us, yes.
But was he a good defensive guy? When it comes to calling games?
He was all right. I just always remember him as not being a good hitting catcher, mainly.
No, yeah. No. Because I think some of the younger guys that they've had, the Orioles have, they've been good in spurts, but I think Severino's game calling ability, it lacks. It's not very good. But I think I'm just waiting to come up. By the way, some of these numbers in their in the minor leagues has been great. You're talking about, and that's where all the hope for the Orioles fans is in the minor leagues. Delmarva, and I'll give you an example. Delmarva and Bowie last week went 12-0, scored 104 combined, 144 runs, and gave up only about 25 last week.
Jesus.
So, and that's like, and then you have like, and now with Bowie, I'm shocked. Like, because these guys go like 4 or 5 innings, well, because they have the pitch limit, the pitch counts, which I believe is, I think, 75 pitches. But I'm shocked they don't have 7 or 8 strikeouts by the 4th inning. Like that's how much they're striking out guys. Like, if they don't have 7 or 8 by the 4th inning, then I'm really shocked. Because normally, like, you had Kevin Smith, who they got from the Mets. He struck out like 7 straight batters yesterday in Double-A.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, Grayson, DL Hall has like 24, 25 strikeouts in like 11 or 12 innings. So, I mean, that's the good news. Like, the Orioles minor league pitchers are striking out guys at a ridiculous rate, and these are guys at Double-A. So, like, you got to imagine they're a year and a half away from making.
Probably, yeah.
And then not only that, if they can keep developing these guys, for like strikeout guys, if the Orioles have a surplus, guess what? They could trade some of these guys for players. So they are in a few years from now that one piece away, where they need that shortstop or they need that closer. They have that surplus of arms they could use to get that guy. So it's gonna be a fun series. After the Nationals, it's the Twins, and then the White Sox, and then the Twins. So we have an easy stretch. I mean,
yeah, the Nats have the Reds after the Orioles, and then they have the Brew Crew, and then they go to Atlanta, Philadelphia, and then Tampa.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, it's definitely been like a brutal schedule because it's been like it was like the Red Sox and the Yankees, and then the Red Sox again, and then the Rays, and then it's the Nationals. So, like, the Nationals are pretty good, and then it's like, okay, the Twins aren't good, and then the White Sox are first place team. Like, that's a brutal schedule. Like, when you have to go against, we're going to the Red Sox. So what's the next team? The Yankees. What's after that? The Red Sox. What's the team after that? Tampa. We get no breaks here.
Yeah, that's a brutal schedule. That's going to be really tough. I mean, the national schedule moving forward is not too bad. I mean, the Reds, they're not that good this year. I mean, the Brew Crew they're still not bad, but they have to make a run here at some point if they're serious about this.
Oh yeah, and I think the good thing is Max Scherzer is a very valuable trade piece. You guys continue.
Yeah, if they are bad at the deadline, they may very well trade him. I mean, it would suck because I love Max and he has been here for the last this is the last year of his contract. Actually, he's been here the last 7 years. I've loved watching him pitch. It has been a treat. Actually, this is one of the best pitchers in franchise history. But if they're down and out, he needs to go to a contender and try to win one more. His career is
also your farm system isn't great.
Yeah, and they can get some good prospects back for him. We won the ring with him too, which is all I wanted. Stop it! Out of the trash. Sorry, but no, we won. They won the ring with him. That was the main thing I wanted. Just give me one ring. They did that. Now I honestly think they kind of need a little bit of a retool as I watch this team. But yeah, go ahead. What you were saying, I do agree though, Adi. They need more prospects in the farm system.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I was going to say that you guys have a very valuable trade piece. Like, granted, it's a rental, a mid-30s guy in mid-30s, but Scherzer could get you at least 1 or 2 top 100 guys, especially
100%. Yeah. Actually, I think he could get a major league player in return for him. To be honest, if they wanted it.
Yeah, I don't want this to happen, and they very well could make this trade. I would imagine if the Nationals are out of it, imagine Tampa Bay with Max Scherzer.
Oh God, they have the pieces to give up for it too. I would target their farm system. That would help.
Franco, you're not getting the number 1 prospect in baseball, Wander Franco.
Yeah, I know. But you could get 2 good ones though. I think out of their system.
But think about it though. You're going to have Max Scherzer, Tyler Glasnow as your 1 and 2. Luis Patino's not bad. I mean, he's a younger guy from the Padres system, but he's 21, with a very high ceiling. He's your 3. Shane McClellan, he's a good option. I mean, that would just be unfair. I mean, I would rather Scherzer go to the Rays than a team like the Yankees.
Oh, God, yeah, the Yankees. Good God.
I don't think the Yankees have the pieces to get him. Like, I think that Scherzer would have a bidding war. I don't think Dodgers have cap space for him.
No, I don't think so.
White Sox could get him.
Yeah, I could see that. They have a really good farm system. Like I said, the Nationals, they just need to target a contender that, one, wants to go for it, and two, has a really good farm system. Because you said it best, they need prospects, especially I think a couple of pitching ones. They don't have a lot of pitching prospects down there right now. What did you say?
That's my fear. My fear is Tampa Bay is going to say, we have a couple of top – I'll take a look at what their farm system looks like right now, but they have a couple of – like, they can spare a couple of top guys. I mean, the Padres could be an interesting one, but I don't know if they want to give up any more prospects. But trying to see prospect. The other thing, speaking of 7-year contracts, Chris Davis is out for the year. So who cares? Like he might have played his last game for the Orioles last year. I'm just gonna take a look at Tampa Bay, see what they have. But I mean, yeah, like if you go, you're not gonna get Wander Franco. If I think that with Tampa Bay, a potential trade would probably be maybe a Brandon McKay, like a left-handed pitching prospect. That's like I believe a two-way guy, so he could do both. So that could be a start. Shane McCullough, I think they'll keep Xavier Edwards, the second base, third base guy, but they just got him from the Padres. Shane Baz, one of the guys who got in the Glasnow trade. That's another guy they could target.
Yeah,
I mean, because I'm looking at your farm system, and I believe you have 2 top 100 guys, but.
Like I said, they're in need of a retool, man. I mean, they got the ring, but there's a lot of work to be done to get this team back up to being a contender. They have some good pieces, but it's not enough. So, I guess we can get right into Tim Tebow signs with the Jaguars, and my boy Tim Tebow got a little thick, man. That dude's put on a little weight there.
I mean, what are your thoughts on him signing with?
I mean, is he really going to bring that much of an impact? Okay.
Jersey sales maybe, but not play-wise.
Yeah, I don't think, jersey sales, it's Tim Tebow. Maybe he'll do his thing right before games where everyone used to make fun of him for that. But I don't think he's going to make that big of an impact. He'll probably get some snaps, you'd think, right? But, I mean, I don't foresee him, having 150-yard games as the starting tight end for the Jaguars and stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at his contract because his contract came out. I think it's like 900. He's guaranteed about 920,000, but that's pretty much that's pretty much that minimum. But I mean, at least I think it was more disrespectful when he tried to play baseball because you're legitimately taking jobs away from younger guys who deserve the opportunity. I mean, him playing tight end, I'll give him the opportunity, but I don't think he'll make it as a tight end. I think that he's just going to create headlines. He's just going to help transition Urban Meyer to the NFL. But the Jaguars haven't really developed tight ends. And I probably would have gone after Fryermuth or someone or Brevin Jordan in the second round. But I mean, my thoughts on it is pretty simple. We'll see what happens. I think this is this is a non-story. I think that if this wasn't Tim Tebow, we wouldn't be talking about it. But
nobody would care.
So I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't think he'll make much of an impact. So we'll go to the next one, which is the Julio Jones trade rumors.
Yeah. Do you think that makes sense for them to trade him? Do you what do you think?
If we're talking in a dream world, no. But the issue is that the Falcons have less than $1 million in cap space, and they haven't signed any of their rookies. So they have to trade him. and save 15 million. They have to get 15 million cap space if they trade him, and I believe that would be what the other team would have. Now they went out and drafted Kyle Pitts with the fourth overall pick.
Yeah.
And then that means right now you're still gonna have Pitts. You have Hayden Hurst for a year. I know they declined to 6-year option. You have and then you also have Calvin Ridley. Julio Jones is also 32. He also has a bit of an injury history, so I could definitely see that. It's either you trade either Julio Jones or Grady. What's the linebacker, Grady Jarrett or something like that, right? Something like that.
I believe so. What do you think they could get for him? Do you think?
Yeah, I was going to get there. So the teams that are involved right now is 49ers, Colts, Patriots, Ravens. I know Titans were interested.
How are the Ravens involved? What?
Well, let me explain with the Ravens. The Ravens tend to go after guys. Well, because I'll explain why I think they may not be involved as much as people think. The Ravens go after guys who are over 30, receivers that are over 30. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Ozzie Newsome went to Alabama. He likes the Alabama guys. Where did Julio Jones go? Alabama. First of all, every free agent receiver gets linked to Baltimore at some point. So let's start. That's kind of the first instinct, right? But then you look deeper. Anquan Bolden. When did the Ravens get him? When he was 30, right? Steve Smith. They got him on the back end of his career. Julio Jones is on the back end of his career. Then you look at the potential fit with Julio. He's 32. He has an injury history. That means he's not going to be. He's not going to be the number one option. So, if you put him on a run-first team, it will work. He's probably going to be looking for a quarterback, a team that is more. He's looking for a quarterback, a team whose quarterbacks have long-term security. Ravens are working on an extension with Lamar, so that the Ravens fit on that regard. So far, so good. Now, the issues here are the Ravens don't have much cap space. They can restructure deals, but they don't have much cap space. They also have about 7 receivers. So I think if the Ravens were to go after him, and I think that there's a good chance they could get one. You're talking about Miles Boykin and maybe Miles Boykin a third and a fifth. Like, I know Julio Jones is Julio, but he has an injury history. He's 32 years old, and he has a lot of money attached to it. So that's going to limit the amount of teams that can go after him. Patriots, Colts, 49ers. And Rams is a possibility because who knows what the Rams will always do. They don't care about draft picks apparently. So that's why I kind of say the Rams are interested, because based on their track record of receivers they target, based on their winning their roster right now to win now, based on everything, they could be in position to get him. And then also
the 49ers make a lot of sense for Julio.
Yeah.
The Colts do as well. They need that actual number one receiver. I know T.Y. Hilton is good, but is he a number one anymore? On a good team, he's a 2, to be honest.
Pittman.
What
about Michael Pittman?
Yeah, he's good too. He's probably a 2 or 3. But I'll be curious to see if they actually do deal him. The big thing that's hemming them is that Matt Ryan contract. Woof, is that one bad?
Yeah. I mean, I know, like I said, I think, and then just to finalize with the Ravens, it's an interesting possibility because when you think about it, the Ravens have the number one run game, rushing offense in the league. So teams have to pack the middle because Lamar has shown he's great in the middle. But if you have that, and then you have Julio on one side of the field where you have to double team him, but if you double team him, then your run defense gets weaker. And then, by the way, you still got Rashad Bateman. You still have Sammy Watkins. He's better in the slot where the corners are less physical. But you still have Tylan Wallace. You still have these guys on the outside who are going to be left wide open because all they have to do is get past that one guy at the line of scrimmage, and then if Lamar is protected, just throw it in that direction until defenses start to pay attention on that guy, and then throw it to Julio and Mark, because that's going to be brutal to watch. And then also, I know he doesn't get touchdowns, but Lamar does throw a ton of touchdowns. He's good in the red zone. I mean, imagine him, Julio and Mark Andrews in the red zone as your main targets, and then you have Lamar and J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards and Hollywood Brown and Rashad Bateman and Sammy Watkins. I mean, that would not be fun as a Steelers fan for you. Like, that would not be fun to.
I'll pass on you guys trading for Julio Jones.
I
That's
mean,
not
happen. Like, let me put it this way. I don't think it will happen. I think it's more likely
Yeah.
that we get Zach Ertz, or
yeah, that makes sense.
Like, but Julio, I think it's a little rich, but like I said, everything lines up for the Ravens to be big players here.
Let's have everything not line up for it.
And they have been quiet. Now, granted, they've probably been focused on the rookies. They have been really quiet. So, I mean, they could be making some contracts. I mean, if you start hearing about contract restructuring in the next couple of weeks, then don't be shocked if Julio. Don't be shocked if they might be working on a Julio Jones trade. But I mean, the quietness makes me think that they're considering it. But everything and then the fit is there. But my logic tells me they would rather have some of these younger guys develop and then see which guys stick and then go and get that veteran piece. But we'll follow that story with a little, maybe a little bit more. I mean, next week we might have some more details. So we'll go to the next one, which is Virginia Tech basketball.
Yeah, that was big news. They got that guy from DeMatha. Very strong recruiting coach. There's a lot of talent up here, basketball-wise. And I think you're going to see a lot of high 4-star, 5-star recruits coming to this school now. There's already, I think, people have put in crystal balls for some of the best players in the country, recruit-wise, to come here. And this is going to be – this team's going to be a powerhouse in a few years. I really believe that. They're on the upswing very well.
Yeah, and then speaking of that, so I checked the 247, and there's a crystal. There's now two people predicting that Cairo Ward, a 6'7" power forward, I believe a 4-star guy. I'll double check now, but he now is projected to go to Tech, and I believe they. So there's him. Yeah. So So Cairo Ward is a 4-star guy, and the composite has him at a .97.
Jesus.
So
they're going to get a lot of high recruits coming, man. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I think that was great. I mean, getting a guy like Mike Jones is going to definitely help because DeMatha is a powerhouse. Because the thing about recruiting is, especially in colleges, DeMatha is the powerhouse when it comes to basketball recruits. It's got their former head coach, and by the way, who's been there for a long time. You're going to get a lot of people moving to Tech to the basketball. I think that's going to be great. And then we had a week ago, we had Michael Durr, who originally transferred a couple months ago to Tech to be the big man that Mike Young was talking about after the loss to Florida. But he decommitted, but they also got, we found his replacement in Lynn Kidd, the guy from Clemson.
From Clemson. Yeah, that's a big one. Former 4-star. Didn't play a lot last season, but I think he'll definitely get a lot more playing time this year.
Yeah, he was a freshman. Yeah, so he was a freshman.
Yeah.
Last year, I believe he was a freshman left, which is great. So, I mean, that's pretty much the updates for basketball.
Football, it's very quiet. There's nothing really going on recruiting-wise and stuff.
And then Tech baseball, they had I think they were playing BYU yesterday, so that was weird that they like BYU because it's very rare. But I think we'll end the show on that, and we'll see you guys next week around 3 or 2:30.
Yeah, we usually do between 1:30 and 3 now, depending on how our work is going. But yeah, we'll do that next week. Thank you all so much for watching and listening.
No problem. Yeah.